Grapes and Gallery. This is our Grapecast Volume 2, where we'll be reviewing the Pinot Grigio and the Pinot Gris. I have Tony here and also Jim Waddell. How are y'all guys doing?
Awesome. How are you?
Awesome.
Fabulous.
Good. Scooby's still here with us too, so
Yes.
that works out. All right, so I know we talked last week about beer some. Well, actually, we went into ciders and how to taste ciders and that sort of thing. So we're going to kind of follow the same pattern with the wines as far as how we taste things. So if you guys want to get your wines ready, I know, Jim, that you're in a different state, so you didn't have the same wine availability that we do. So you got a couple of different ones that are similar to ours. So
Similar but different.
Similar but different. And that's one thing that I wanted to say about what we're doing as far as the Grapecast is concerned. I think that the majority of our efforts are focused toward helping people like our clients understand wine and beer better. A lot of people think of it as beer snobs or wine snobs or that sort of thing, something that has some sort of pretentious tones to it. But I think that all of us could definitely attest to us not being snobs, that we've all started from somewhere and we're trying to learn and grow every day whenever we do taste wines. Do y'all have that same feeling that I do?
Oh,
Yes. It's not. Yeah. It's not supposed to be pretentious. It's supposed to be fun. Alcohol's been enjoyed for thousands and thousands or however many years, and it still should be enjoyed. There are people out there that are pretentious, but that's cool. They can do what they want, and then we'll just have fun with it.
And you know what's funny is you figure there's no wrong answers when it comes to tasting, because it's just whatever you think it tastes like or smells like or whatever. And I think that's what can be intimidating to some people, is the idea that you're supposed to pick up the same flavors or whatever that the other guy picks up, when I don't think that's the case.
Right. I agree with you both completely. I don't think that's the case at all, and that's what we try to encourage people that come to the gallery too, is try something different if you don't like it. I mean, the other day someone was tasting white wines. They like white wines. They tasted Sauvignon Blanc for the first time and realized they do not like Sauvignon Blanc. So that was interesting for them to understand that some people might like all this stuff, but they don't have to like all of it. So that was very good. Yeah. So we're going to start with the Pinot Grigio, which is an Italian varietal of Pinot Grigio. So it's a white wine. It's one of the major white grapes. We could talk about what we're serving our wine in if you guys like to. According to the Cicerone syllabus, they go into all of the glassware and how clean it should be, what type of glasses are used for different types of wines, beers, whatever. So what are you guys using today?
So I've got a kind of a typical white wine glass. It's a little bit smaller than your general red glass. And pretty standard, actually. Nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy.
Red wine glass, because that's all I got.
Yeah, definitely. I have the white wine glass. I normally don't have those, but let's see. We lost Tony for a second. There you are. Okay, so I'm pouring the Italian Pinot Grigio right now. I was just reading some about it, but just wanted to go through real quick as far as how we like to look at wines and taste wines. First, it's the same that we were talking about with the ciders and the beers. I mean, we hold it up to light, not the direct light, because we don't want to diffuse too much of the color there, but we try to see what kind of color that it has. And again, we're not pretentious snobs. We're just looking at the wine and trying to enjoy it. So whenever you're swirling it, you're actually aerating a little bit, so it kind of creates more of those smells coming off the wine. So definitely want to look at it and then swirl and sniff like we do with the beers.
That's right. And I will tell you that I learned something cool from watching some other people. The 5 S's. I actually call it the 4 S's, but the 5th one's actually the best.
I've heard of this. Go. Yeah.
Yeah, see, swirl, sniff, sip, and the best one is savor. So it's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. So, Jim, we have the Cesari Pinot Grigio. I'll hold the label up. Let me get this right here.
Yep.
So this is the one that we're tasting right now. You can see the label there. We have a couple of different types of wine at the gallery with this vineyard. We have their Merlot as well. We sell a lot of this Pinot Grigio. It's a very light, a little bit of fruity that I'm getting on the front of mine. Jim, what are you tasting along with us? I know you couldn't get this one as well.
Yeah, so I've got the Zenato Pinot Grigio. It's also an Italian wine. According to the people I bought it from, it's one of the better wines under like $12. So I'm good with it.
Yeah, that sounds good. So go through your S's.
So C, mine's really pale. I don't know if it shows up too much, but it doesn't have a whole lot of body to it. And when you swirl it, it's kind of thin, which I think that's pretty standard for most of them. Yours hopefully should be the same way. And as I smell it, it almost literally smells like pear juice. And it actually smells really nice. And as I take a sip, it's pretty dry, like fairly dry, not sweet at all. Doesn't have a whole lot of body and actually kind of disappears a little bit. And it's slightly tart, so it's actually not too bad. As far as like mouthfeel stuff, there's not a whole lot there. And it seems like it'd be a really nice kind of beachy wine, sort of crisp and refreshing. It's kind of nice. I'm not a white drinker, so for me to say it's good, it's probably pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not a white drinker either. Tony, how about you? Do you normally drink white wines, or does it depend on the meal, or what?
No, normally I just drink beer. So this is kind of a different experience, and I kind of liken it to how when you're in college, your beer of choice was like PBR or Bud or something, and it just tasted like weak, diluted, good beer. There was nothing to appreciate other than it had alcohol. And so back in the day, wine was just sour grape juice, essentially. There was nothing for me to like. But now as I've sort of developed a palate, I can appreciate sort of the craftsmanship behind it, the effort that goes into, building a good wine. And so it goes beyond just it tastes good.
Right, I agree with that. I have a lot of people at the gallery that are white wine drinkers, and that's one of the things that we can usually connect on with wine drinkers in general. I think because they always carry more of a sweet tone. It's hard to find a sweet red wine, so it's easier on the palate for people that are not drinkers. Similar to what we were talking about with the ciders last week. It's just an easier drinking thing to do. As far as the tones that Jim was talking about with his, it's surprising because I was reading a lot of stuff about the difference between Italian Pinot Grigios and other Pinot Grigios from other parts of the region. And one of the things they did say was the Italians were drier, and I do pick up on a lot of the same things that you were saying. As far as the smell, I do have a pear juice kind of smell and almost a lemon lime on the palate whenever I'm tasting this, which would be refreshing with almost anything. I mean, you could pair that down with something spicy or something salty or just about anything with the Pinot Grigio. They're kind of all over the map.
Yeah, that's nice. Mine's pretty good. I'm kind of shocked, actually.
Yeah, I know that we're all three of us are more into beer, so this is a challenge for us to stretch a little bit, but I think that's what it's all about, to try to figure this stuff out.
That's right, gotta expand your horizons.
Yeah,
to quote someone, I wouldn't spit this out.
Yeah, if we get into that. So, Jim, just a side note real quick, do you know the story behind this?
No, I don't.
Okay, so this week at the gallery, we came up with a rating system, and it was kind of an impromptu rating system where we let Mona try some different beers, and we asked her, the qualifier was, well, would you spit that out? Or is that how it went, Tony? Or did she volunteer that was judgment?
She just came out with, I wouldn't spit that out.
Right. Right. So it was quite
Perfect.
comical. So from then on out, it was definitely, I wouldn't spit that out. So so for this Pinot Grigio, if we want to get to that, we will say I definitely would not spit this out.
Definitely. That's right.
All right, great. So let's move on to the other one. Tony, I'm going to let you hold the bottle up for that one. That is the Villa Wolfe Pinot Grigio, which is out of Germany. And Villa Wolfe, they are, there you go. I can see it now. So at the gallery lately, we do tastings every Thursday, either beer or wine. Soon we're going to do both beer and wine if we can make that happen. But right now we're tasting through our menu. We're trying to see what we like and what we don't like. Yes, that's very good, Tony. Hold on. Let me click on you right there. Yeah, good. There you go. All right. So the Villa Wolf, we've been testing some of our wines against the Villa Wolf. We've gone through they've had their Riesling and then also the Gewürztraminer. We tried that as well, and we actually added the Villa Wolf Gewürztraminer to the menu. We tested it with their Riesling versus the Dr. L Riesling, which is the Lucen Brothers estate, and Lucen Brothers is a brother vineyard to the Villa Wolf. So it's interesting to see the labels come across a little bit the same, so you can kind of tell what style of wine it is. It is a German wine, and they do call it a Pinot Gris. So that is the difference. And as far as Pinot Gris is concerned, the origin of the word is Pinot, meaning coming from pine because of the shape of the grapes. They're in a pine cone shape. And then Gris meaning gray, so that they're actually translates to gray grape. So I don't even know what I was saying. That was too much stuff. Okay, so the Villa Wolf, they have similar wine labels as their brother company, which is the Lucen Brothers. So if you ever watching any of videos about tastings, 9 times out of 10, if you have a Riesling tasting, they're going to have the Lucen Brothers stuff on there. So if we go ahead and pour the Pinot Gris, let's go ahead and go through our 5 S's. The C, the smell. What was the rest, Jim?
See, swirl, sniff, sip, and savor.
Have you been practicing that all day?
Yes, actually. Yeah, you gotta get it right. So I'm tasting the Pinot Gris from the Willamette Valley Vineyards, which is from Oregon.
Yes, and we've had that on our menu before, and that was a very good wine. I'm interested to hear your opinion on that one.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It's got quite a bit more color, almost straw colored, and it's to me it's much more tropical type flavors. Like, I don't know if I'm not, I don't know. I can't really tell flavors, but it's almost more of a melon than like a regular fruit, like a pear or something.
Are you tasting them side by side right now? I'm sorry, smelling them side by side right now?
I am now.
You are now? Yeah, I just found it interesting. You smell different too, the same way that yours are. So we definitely, I think the salesman gave you the right stuff.
That's right. Pays to know people.
Pays to know people. That's right.
Yeah, and
Tony,
mine has much more body than the last one.
More body
much
as in
more.
mouthfeel or what?
Everything. It's a lot cleaner. It's got more to it, and it's also got like some acidic tones to it. It's not real dry, but you can kind of feel it, kind of right around in here, the acidity. It's good. I like this one a lot.
Good. It sounds similar to the one that we're tasting now, the Villa Wolf Pinot Gris. Right off, as far as the smell, I'm getting more of the grapefruit tones than I am with the other. The other one was more of the pear and the lemon lime. Mm-hmm. Tony, what are you getting on the aroma?
Well, it definitely, to me, it smells a lot fruitier. Kind of like Jim. I'm not really so good at identifying specifics, but one of the things I think is cool though is when you actually do the steps for tasting, it makes a difference. Like if you sniff it without swirling it, you don't get as much of the aroma. And and I think it's kind of cool if someone takes the time to follow the steps. It really makes a difference.
It does. It does. Jim, as far as the taste on yours, you said it was more fuller body than the one before?
Yeah, most definitely.
I'm trying to compare mine to yours, so yeah, I think it's the same.
It's much fuller body. It's not any thicker, but it's a little more on the palate than just the other one was almost, it wasn't watery, but it just kind of disappeared.
So I got made fun of on the last Grapecast because apparently my screen froze with my faces. So I've been getting a lot of comments and emails about my duck, but definitely the tartness of this wine will definitely land me some duck face freezes, I'm sure. So we welcome all that for sure. All right. Okay, so I feel like that we've given our best shot at these wines. I'm trying to think of some stuff that I would pair it with as far as food is concerned. But like I said earlier, I think that a lot of it would go well with anything. I've seen stuff from like a light salad or something with fruit on it, or even as much as a spicy soup or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all have anything that y'all would definitely pair with it, Jim?
Yeah, I would add like some sort of light fish or shellfish too. Like I think this is pretty good with, probably pretty good with oysters. I think it's got enough body to stand up to it. At least mine does. And definitely fish. I mean,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all like a good fish. I know Tony has a new cooking tool that he likes to cook fish in. So, what about you? Any favorite fish that you would pair with either of these?
I don't know. I guess I kind of see anything light, flaky, like any kind of fish that you might just season with a little lemon or something. But you know, one thing that to me is a little interesting is the Pinot Gris. After tasting it, the Pinot Grigio tastes really flat. I think I like the acid in the Pinot Gris. Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. I hate to take you off the camera right now because that's pretty funny, but I was just thinking the same thing as far as these two are concerned. But I'm picking up a lot of grapefruit in this, like a ton of grapefruit. I know that Sam likes grapefruit in her wine as well, but I don't know if she wants to give a 2 seconds. Hey.
Hey.
Are you just gonna duck behind the chair and drink?
This is
Good.
this is everyone's favorite part of the Grapecast. You have to be out there for sure. So,
Sam says it's good.
it's good. Yeah, but I totally am losing the Cesari Pinot Grigio. I'm losing the white one because it's so dry, and then after having this one, it's just a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's almost like having a Sauvignon Blanc. I mean, it's kind of crazy. And I will say this: I did pick up some soup today from the Blue Cactus. I know that Tony has probably tried that before. The Korean shredded beef stew with the egg drop soup in it.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah. So that's definitely helping combat the sweetness that I'm not used to. So, is there anything else that y'all want to say about wine before we stop this? Stop the madness.
I mean, other than just it's cool appreciating it in a different way. You know, I guess stepping out of what you're comfortable with and not being afraid to just say what you think it tastes like because there's no wrong answer, really. You know, and you could even just stop with, I wouldn't spit it out.
Yeah, you definitely could stop with that. I agree with you completely. And there's a lot of terminology that people throw out at the gallery that doesn't even make sense. I mean, completely out of left field, like this tastes like cat pee. I don't know where that comes from sometimes, but it's just ridiculous. So, but everyone starts somewhere, and we build on what we have, and I think that's important. But throwing out all the labels and the pretentious stuff, I mean, just seeing what you like, and we've always been about that, even when we started with just the art stuff, finding out what people like about stuff and trying to teach them not to be scared to have an opinion and not to try different things without any hesitation. That sort of thing. Jim, do you have anything to say before we sign off of this? Move on to something.
It. I was pleasantly surprised with both of these.
Pleasant surprise. So you can be surprised and you can appreciate it, but you don't necessarily have to adopt it onto your menu. I mean, you can still see it, and if you were at a fancy dinner or something and they had, you know, red wine or white wine and you chose the fish, you would at least know what you wanted to have with it. Maybe you would choose the Pinot Grigio now. I'm not sure. I think maybe that I would if I were given the scenario of that, but.
Yeah, I would at least consider it now.
Definitely. So we've all learned something. And Sam, anything you want to say? You going to sit on the floor and drink?
She's got her bottle. She's good to go.
Good. All right, good. All right, well, we're signing off. Grapesandgallery.com. We'll be doing this Pinot Grigio tasting on Thursday, the 25th, I believe. Yes. from 3 p.m. till 9 p.m. Let me put it on me for a second. All right, so that's it, and signing off. Bye.